Hey, Swarthos here with an update. I want this to be I intend for this to be like an information type of thing for people. If it could help somebody. Um, I just got diagnosed with skin cancer on my forehead, and I thought I should share with people my experience so far because I could just as easily have disregarded it as nothing. Um, I go to my doctor every 6 months. Um, I get a blood test done every 6 months for like monitoring my prostate numbers and my cholesterol and triglycerides and all that kind of stuff. And so, leading up to my recent appointment with a doctor, as I'm washing my face and brushing my teeth in the morning, and washing my face and brushing my teeth in the evening, and I'm looking in the mirror. You should always kind of look at yourself as best you can. And I noticed I had what looked like a very hardly visible red blemish, just like a circle, like if you push on your skin, and it leaves a red mark there, just from the pressure. Anyways, I had like that on there. It wasn't like super dark or really weird shaped or bloody, or didn't itch. I didn't feel it. I wouldn't know it was there unless I happened to look at myself in the mirror and say, hey, wait a minute, I got kind of a red dot on my forehead. And I didn't think too much of it. And it just so happens that in a week or two I had a doctor's appointment coming up. And that mark stayed there on my forehead. So I thought, well, I better ask about this. Thinking again, it was some kind of rash, or maybe it was a, ringworm on my forehead or something, some fungus. And I go to the doctor and she looks at it and she says, oh yeah, that looks bad. I better refer you over to a dermatologist. So I go to the dermatologist and I says, hey, I'm in for this thing here. And so they looked at it. He didn't say anything. He just says, oh, I'm going to do a biopsy. So biopsy, they got to numb it with anesthesia, local anesthesia. So they stick a needle in your forehead and inject it in there and numb the forehead. And then he comes in there, and I couldn't see what he's doing, but punctured it, like pulled a cork out, of that area. Sent it to the lab, and a couple of weeks it comes back, and it's cancer. It's I guess squamous cell cancer, which is kind of the middle one. You got basal cell carcinoma, you got squamous, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I don't know. Squamous cell, I've heard it said pronounced squamous, but it looks like squamish to me, but whatever. So it's that one, it's not melanoma. And if you catch it early, and it's, which it appears that I have. So anyways, so I go back to the doctor, and he tells me, yeah, it's skin cancer. What we're going to do is this, I guess it's Mohs surgery, M-O-H-S, named after some guy named Mohs. Again, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. Where they're going to keep cutting it out and scraping layers away until they've scraped healthy skin layers around it and found no cancer. And then the procedure, I'm told, will last 2 to 3 hours as they do that, and then hopefully they get it all. Now, I don't go in to have that done until the 16th of September. Everything has to go through medical insurance. And medical insurance won't just let you go get anything done that you want. It has to be approved first. So then the doctors won't operate until they see that the insurance is going to pay them. So everything is slow and step by step and seems to take forever. And when you got like cancer growing in your body, you're like, come on, I want to go right now. Let's get it out, right? And but no, I gotta wait. So the 16th of September I go in. And in the meantime, I've noticed that I've got a couple of more very tiny, and you can't even see them unless you get like right up in the mirror and look under good light. It seems to be the same texture and coloration of what ended up being cancer, growing like off, to the side of this original one. So when I go back to have this one removed, I'm going to say, hey, what about this? And we have to do the whole thing all over again. But so the reason why I'm making this video to talk about this is for anybody out there that has a discoloration of some sort or something on their body that wasn't there before, and you might be wondering, well, is that just a scar or like a rash from bumping up against a tree branch or something? If it stays there longer than you would think it should, like a week or something, you probably should get it checked out. At least if you find out it's nothing, then you get peace of mind and everything's cool. And if you do find something, well, then you've caught it like really early, which I think I did. I mean, because it doesn't really look like anything yet. It just looks like I said, like if you just tap the skin and it leaves like a thing there, it doesn't hurt, nothing, but I don't know. We'll see. So that's my public service announcement. And I'm drinking coffee. I read online that drinking coffee can help prevent 20% chance of preventing melanoma skin cancers. But hey, that's what the internet says. You believe everything the internet tells you? Well, a wise man once said that who knows more than the internet, right? So, anyway. Swarthos coming at you from the internet. Stay out of the sun. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to say. I'm 61 years old. In the last 30 years of my life, I have avoided the sun. I have covered up. I've worn wide brim hats, But when I was younger, from the time I was in the first grade, I was going to the beach, never wore sunscreen. All through my teenage years, I was surfing, swimming, I was outdoors, running, cycling. Never wore sun protection. I never really got any serious burns. Now that might be something that will fool you. You might think, well, yeah, you get skin cancer because you got a bad sunburn a bunch of times. Not me, man. I maybe had one sunburn my entire life that I even remember when I was maybe in the 5th grade. I remember I got a sunburn on my chest. After that, nothing. I just had regular sun exposure though. And it's accumulative. Think of it like you would an x-ray, okay? You go into the doctor and you get a chest x-ray, or you get your arm x-rayed or your abdomen x-rayed. Okay, you don't want to get that all the time, right? 1 or 2 x-rays every few years, not a big deal. Still a risk, but not that big a deal. Well, think about if you go in once a month and get an x-ray. Every month. That's a cumulative radiation that builds up inside of you. The same thing with the sun. That's cosmic radiation, which we try to tune into to get on the wavelengths of the cosmic communications out there. But I kid, or maybe I don't. Who knows? So it's accumulative. So years of being out in the sun every day and not necessarily even being burnt, just having an exposure where it builds up over time has brought about skin cancer. Bummer. The big C. The big C. So anyways, that's it. So where I wear now, I'm wearing 50 proof suntan lotion. I don't have like the kind they had advertised in RoboCop. I think it was like 1,000 or something like that, 1,000 proof or SPF. But I've got 50, and yeah, the stuff stinks like hell. But what are you gonna do? So I got it on my nose, I got it on my ears when I go out, and arms. So, anybody watching this, if you're in your 20s, 30s, or even older, man, don't get a suntan. Stay out of the sun. Do your best to cover up, or at least wear sun protection, like a sunscreen. I'm a gamer. I'm inside a lot. For the last, 30 years, I've been, pretty much inside. But you do have to go outside. So even when I go, like if I'm going to walk outside, take the garbage out to the curb, man, I cover up. I don't even let myself be exposed to the sun even for a minute or two anymore. It's not worth it. With these another thing, check your UV ratings in your city, man. Here in Los Angeles, the UV ratings are higher than hell, man. They're just bad. That's bad for you too. That is what's bad for you, the ultraviolet light ratings. So, all right, I'm going to go before I butcher this thing totally. Hopefully, this will help somebody, and if somebody needs to go get checked, they will, and they'll catch it early. Okay, right on. Swarthos out.